gentlemen, I am here with the one and only Brian Teets, the flyest guy, the brightest guy around. Brian, thank you so much for joining me, brother. So excited to have you, my man.
Happy to be here, man.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. So we're here to celebrate you, really, and to talk about your journey, brother. So talk to me a little bit about what inspired you to embark on this fitness journey that you've been on.
So the fitness part of it was definitely my wife, Noelle.
Awesome.
She heard about PFit from one of her clients who had some great success, and she signed us up for the 6-week challenge.
Cool.
And I'd never been a gym rat. I've never really worked out at a gym in my life. I mean, I was 47 at the time, wow. And so I was kind of new to this. I was very skeptical. I didn't really want to do it.
Yeah.
But she signed us up. She signed my son and my daughter up too.
Awesome.
So the 4 of us all got together and did this for 6 weeks, and it was a life-changing experience.
That's
really,
awesome.
it really was. The first 2 weeks were tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working muscle groups that I've never worked out in my life.
Yeah.
And so I was definitely feeling it. But after those first 2 weeks I got through, it just lit a fire in me that I was like, this feels really good.
That's awesome.
I'm very fortunate that you guys are so close to our house.
Yeah.
Anyway, in those 6 weeks, I saw a massive improvement in my health. I lost 20 pounds right off the bat. We were eating together as a family more and eating healthier, making better choices. And that was really what started the whole fitness aspect of it. But just to go back a little bit before that, I'd always been a big guy. I've always been a big guy as far as definitely obesity throughout my youth and my teens and my college years as well. So I've never been what I would consider athletic.
Yeah, definitely.
And my wife and I went to Las Vegas on our anniversary one year. It was our 19th anniversary.
What a blessing.
And Vegas was just opening up after COVID. Mm-hmm. And on the flight out there, the really thing that sparked my whole health start and trying to be healthier was I had a panic attack on the airplane.
Wow.
And which led me to understanding that I had really bad sleep apnea. And so when we got back from the trip, I went and did a sleep study, definitely diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Yeah.
I would stop breathing 64 times an hour.
Wow.
Like it was severe.
Brother, that's incredible. Yeah.
So when I went in for that to talk to my sleep doctor, I walked in and they do the pulse rate, blood pressure and stuff like that.
For sure.
And the nurse was like, "Did you just run a marathon or something?" Like, because my blood pressure was off the charts. Yeah. My pulse rate was off the charts. And I was like, "No, I literally just walked from my car to the front desk."
Wow.
And she's like, "You need to make some changes in your life."
Wow.
And that totally started me making better eating decisions.
Definitely.
So that was the first part of it, and I was over 300 pounds when I started this.
Right.
So I was able to lose about 40 pounds in those first 7-8 months, and then I kind of plateaued. And that was when Noelle started us at PFit. Yeah. And once I introduced exercise into the equation.
Wait, so hold on. Even just to pause for a second.
Sure.
So you had lost 50 to 60 pounds, closer to 70 without even working out?
I lost 40 pounds.
About 40 pounds. But that's before even introducing exercise.
Before exercise.
Wow.
That was just.
And then PFit came into the picture.
PFit came into the picture.
Yeah.
And a big part of that started with intermittent fasting. I'm a big proponent for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was a big part of eating differently and then making healthier choices with that. But I'd hit a plateau. Yeah. So I lost the 40 pounds and I was like, kind of fluctuating around that area, and I couldn't drop any more.
For sure.
But when we started PFit, I immediately lost in that 6 weeks 20 more pounds, and I was like, this is what was missing from that whole equation. Yeah. And that pushed me, and then every couple months I'd do a new picture to get to 25 pounds, 35 pounds, 40 pounds, and then the last one I've got is 60 pounds.
Yeah, dude.
And that brought me down to just over 200 pounds, my current weight, and 100 pounds total from where I started. And I was the guy, I was in my late 40s who just had given up. I was like, some people are fat, some people are skinny.
Right.
I'm just one of those fat guys. I'm just going to be that the rest of my life, and I'd kind of become complacent with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So after doing PFit, that 6-week challenge, during that time I had lost my father, who had not been the healthiest person either.
Yeah.
So that was another catalyst that kind of helped me want to keep this going.
No doubt.
And just seeing the improvement and seeing the changes in my body was remarkable, because that was something I never really expected before.
100%.
I grew up, I never had any sort of upper body strength.
Yeah.
I never had any sort of muscle definition or anything like that. And now, I can see muscles. I can see.
Dude, you're vascular, baby. You're looking like some clouds with those arms, baby.
I can see some definition going on in my abs.
Yeah.
I'm getting there, and every week, every day, every hour is better and better and better.
Yes, brother.
And I feel better. Yeah. So that's really the big thing that keeps me motivated to keep going. Is seeing the changes. It's almost been like a big science experiment.
Yeah.
So like to see different, and I've gotten to know my body a lot better. I know that, after a Friday and Saturday night of having a few beers or whatever, and maybe throwing a slice of pizza in there every once in a while, you gotta live. Yeah. Then I know that Monday morning I'm gonna be a couple more pounds heavier, but I know by Tuesday that bloat will have worn off, and I'll be back to my regular numbers, and then I just work my butt off all week, and then I love having a cheat day in there. Yeah. Sundays I make blueberry pancakes. It's my ritual.
That's the go-to.
You got to get that in there, and because you still have to live, 100%. And that's one thing that that took me a while to figure out. Yeah. The first year and a half of working out here, I was really focused on weight loss, and now I got to kind of a point where I'm happy with my weight. And I want to keep building muscle and definition, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So
that's been the new challenge, essentially.
That's been
because it's about starting somewhere. You started where it seemed like you were running a marathon, just going from the parking lot to an appointment, brother. Yeah. And now you're here, having these new challenges, embarking on these new things, and conducting this self-science experiment, seeing yourself fit into clothes you've never rocked, rocking those cutoffs, looking like an absolute boss, man. Baby. And it's definitely, and you're succeeding, brother. And that's the coolest thing. Now, in terms of your fitness journey, getting here at PFit, right? Because we had the different journey in terms of plateauing. We've had our different challenges there. Now, what would you say is a different challenge that you're facing these days inside of your fitness journey?
Everything is, and we might need to edit this a little bit.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Will you ask me that question?
Yeah. So basically, like a pivotal moment or a particular challenge that you faced during your fitness journey. What do you think it was necessarily a pinpoint, and how did you overcome it necessarily?
Well, like I said, the big thing, the catalyst was being diagnosed with sleep apnea, and then that was really that was the big thing that made me realize what I need to do. Since I've started it, I've really just kind of kept it going. Yeah. The things that I've done to, and this may relate to one of the other questions, but before I didn't have any sort of schedule, any regimented, structured schedule. For sure. So what I've made sure to do is I've tried to accommodate my work life to my personal life.
Lovely.
And instead of just, if work calls, just drop everything and go do it. Right. I've set myself a schedule that I know that 90% of the time I can set my schedule to accommodate coming into PFit in the morning, getting a workout, getting it done out of the way. Yeah. And like I said earlier, we're fortunate that we live like a half mile away, and I can ride my bike here faster than I can drive here. Nice. But I can get here, I can stretch out for 10 minutes, do the workout, and get home in 45 minutes.
That's awesome.
45, 50 minutes at the most. And having that luxury of convenience has been a huge part of what's kept me motivated. So there's that for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But like I said, also just being able to say, I'm gonna, if I have a job, I'm a commercial editorial photographer. So my schedule is not consistent at all. Every day is a completely different day. Right. But I've made a point to accommodate my life schedule, 45 minutes to an hour, to accommodate this early morning routine. Yeah. And I try to do it every morning. It's easier, it's done. Yeah. I don't have to think about it till tomorrow morning. and it gets my blood flowing, it gets my mind clearer and thinking better.
Yeah.
So I've just basically tried to accommodate my work life to accommodate my personal life.
Yeah, definitely. And and that really leads me to the next question, because a lot of people really struggle finding that balance with their regimen, with their personal life, their home life. I always am a big preacher of the proponent of working smarter, not harder.
Right.
And it definitely seems like that's the recipe that you've had. How is basically working smarter, not harder kind of not only help you feel good all throughout the day, but even with your job holding big cameras, things of that nature, how does that help you kind of just be on the fly, being you day to day?
It's huge. My stamina, and for years and years and years, I always told myself, well, I'm a freelance photographer. I'm always lugging all this equipment and gear around, putting it in, taking it out of my car. That's enough of a workout. That's all I need. It was not anywhere near what I needed. And the great thing about PFit that I enjoy is the balance of cardio, weights, everything else is it's the perfect combination, and the short amount of time you can get those results.
100%.
And it's the convenience, it's the exercises, it's the coaches. You guys are like my biggest cheerleaders out there. And I blush every once in a while. But seriously, you guys really keep me going. Awesome. And I'm not the type of person that's smart enough to do this on my own.
I get you.
When it's different when you're in a place, and I feel like you guys are holding me accountable, and you're not. I mean, you are somewhat.
No, definitely are, definitely.
But if I need a break, you guys aren't gonna hammer me.
Right. Yeah.
But the most part, I feel like I want to make you guys happy too.
Yeah,
so that's what keeps me going, and then the fact that I don't have to think about it. Yeah. I come in here, I completely phase out. You guys tell me what to do. Yep. I do it, and then I go home, and that's all. That's it.
That's all you're right.
And it's been fun to see the progression of my stamina improve. When I first came here, I could barely do a single push-up.
Yeah.
And then I started where during my stretch warm up every time before the workout, I started doing push-ups, and I started with 1 or 2 push-ups, and then I built that up to 5 push-ups.
Yeah.
Built that up to 10 push-ups. Built that up to 15 push-ups.
Right.
And now I'm at 20 push-ups. Okay. And I could probably do more, but I don't want to sit there and do push-ups all day, especially after a day like today where I'm doing push-ups at every station.
Exactly.
But just seeing that progression and being able to do that, and then now I'm working on my chin-ups.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, I did the first chin-up in my life, dude. I mean, it was huge. Awesome. It was a huge moment for me because I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I've never done one in my life.
Yeah,
and now I can do 5 or 6 of them in a row.
That's awesome.
And just trying to keep building up that progression.
Yeah, man.
It's results like that keep me motivated.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. And it's like finding those different things to kind of just put your flag on each mark, I did this with my push-ups, I've done this with my pull-ups, etc. And it's honestly such an inspiring thing. And that even leads me to my next one too, because not only have I been inspired, many and countless of other people. You have no idea how many times I've done in-bodies. Brian, right behind you to your left, there's your post and your picture about your transformation. You talking a little bit about it. I know here we're talking about it more in detail, but you have no idea where I got. The amount of in-bodies I've done where people point at this picture and they go, I want to be like that guy. I want to be like that guy.
That's awesome.
For you to, you're almost like a poster child for us in the terms of what we preach, right? Which is finding your happy place and finding that consistency. So for anyone that's looking for different tips, what are some of the things that you implemented that really helped you getting to be where you are now? What are some of the regimen tips? What are some things that you did, for, setting yourself up for success in terms of your schedule, things like that? Give me a little bit more of a insight into how you really made your life easier.
The thing is just being consistent.
Yeah.
And doing it every day and making a point to, make changes in your life to get room during the day to come in here and work out. And some mornings I can't get in here to work out, so I'll try to come in for the afternoon classes.
Definitely.
And if I can't come in for the afternoon classes, I'll make sure to be there the next day.
100%.
And you can't beat yourself up over it if you miss it, whatever. 100%. But little things I've done in my personal life too is within the past year I started running.
Lovely.
And I've never been a runner in my life. I always told myself I got bad knees, I can't run, whatever. And it started with walking a mile, and then I started with walking and doing a light jog for a mile, and then building up to jogging a mile, and then jogging 2 miles and then jogging 3 miles and you know, and we talked about this. I ran 6 miles the first time. I was like, I can't believe I ran 6 miles nonstop, and it blew me away. And but then with that also too, there are some challenges that come. Like a couple weeks ago, it was funny. It was right after I was just bragging about jogging 6 miles. I got a really bad blister on one of my feet, and so I took 2 weeks off. So now I'm at that point where I've healed, and I know I need to get back out there and start running again. So just, you know, it's the type of thing where once you get to doing it, you just have to kind of keep
the ball rolling.
Keep it rolling.
And not be afraid of trying new things, right? Because like you said, you had that mentality in your mind that you had the bad knees, but once you went ahead and you put, you know, pen to paper, you started doing these things. You're like, all right, let me start here and go in there and go in there. And I really love how you start somewhere and you're not like, all right, if I don't reach this is the end all be all. I'm not gonna stop. Like I'm gonna stop. I love how you're like, all right, I'm gonna get this. Once I do this, I'm gonna move on to B. Right. Once I get B, I'm going to move on to C. And I think that's something that people can really learn, because a lot of times we get so focused on scale victories, non-scale victories, what we're not able to do, right, versus what we are able to do. And I think that you're a perfect example of seeing what I'm able of doing and then pushing myself to new limits so that I can learn more.
Well, and it's the big thing too is it's the long haul. I mean, I didn't start any of this thinking I would get to this point. When we did the 6-week challenge, I was like, wow, this is crazy. I never thought that I would be where I am right now. And that's coming up on almost 2 years. In May, it'll be 2 years that we started.
Incredible.
And I've by far like outpaced anywhere near where I thought I was going to be from just coming in here and working out.
Awesome.
And you know, when we initially started, I was like, well, I'll come work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days a week or whatever. And now I'm like, if I can't get in here like 5 days a week, I'm upset. I usually try to get in here 6 days a week. So I mean, that's the thing, is it's become ingrained in me, and like you said, you know, it's awesome to hear that people see that and get inspired by it. I've definitely had, you know, friends of mine that I haven't heard from for years reach out on Facebook like, oh my gosh, you know, this is incredible. You know, can you tell me what you're doing? You know, ask for advice.
That's even more
powerful. And I've never thought that anybody would reach out to me for any sort of advice like that ever. And, you know, I've had friends join PFit since then, and they, you know, they love it just as much as I do, and they're seeing those changes too. So I mean, I love hearing other success stories too, and if I'm any little tiny part of it, that's incredible. I would have never thought in a million years that anybody would be, you know, look at me and think something like that. So that's awesome.
It's incredible, brother. It's incredible, brother. And you deserve it, man. You're like, you have put in the work, you've put in the time, and that's how you're able to share this story and share what worked for you, right? Because you weren't afraid of trying, you know, nothing. You tried everything. You set up those goals for yourself, and when you got them, you went ahead and you set a new goal for yourself. A lot of times we see people just, you know, had that goal. Once they hit the goal, and that's it. And it's not game over, right? It's a long haul, like you said.
You know, the other big thing is, you know, I've heard this my entire life. It's a lifestyle change.
100%.
And, you know, and I always be like, ugh, lifestyle change. But it is, honest to God, is the truth. It was a total lifestyle change for us. And it wasn't impossible, you know, and the best part is our whole family is healthier because of it.
That's
powerful. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I still love a cheeseburger. I think you gotta have a slice of pizza every once in a while, but balance that out with you know, I try to eat healthy consistently 85 to 90% of the week, and that allows me to have those little fun stuff every once in a while. And not hate myself the next day for it, you know. I mean, I remember, you know, and one of my lowest points, I would eat so heavily late at night that I would just be sick and miserable all night long. I had really bad acid reflux, all sorts of stuff, and you know, other little tips I do, like again, fasting was a huge part of it. 100%. Initially, I've you know, and eating. I don't want to say I'm keto because I'm not 100% keto, but I definitely try to avoid, you know, those processed carbs like bread and pasta and stuff like that. Definitely. But you still got to get those every once in a while. 100%. I definitely eat a lot more fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. That's where I get a lot of my carbs from. The good carbs. But I still, like, I'm in the point now where I've switched from weight loss to weight loss management and maintaining that, but also trying to build muscle. And like I said, it's been fun to see, because I've never in my life had muscles like I have now.
Yeah, dude, you're jacked, brother.
I'm
You're jacked, brother.
getting there.
Come on, you're jacked, brother. Come on.
But that's what's exciting to see is like, wow, like I can't believe I was capable of this. I was capable of it the whole time, and I just given up. I didn't think it was even remotely possible to do. So, you know, it is possible.
100%.
You know, it really is, and I'm so glad that I discovered that, and you guys helped lead the way and are continually guiding me every step of the way through this whole process.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And we're really here for you, and that kind of like guides us into like the last little closing part. You know, the community here at PFit, you always attribute it to your success. The coaches, you've mentioned them to being integral and things like that. What's like a key moment that you can remember, like a coach or just anybody here at the gym, kind of giving you like a moment where you were like, that's what I'm here for, man?
Well, you know, it's funny because when I first started here, like, I had a different attitude. I would come in here and I would initially, like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm just here to get my work and get out. And for a long time I would do that. And then I had a couple times where people would be like, hey, you know, like, you look great, like what are you doing? Like how did you're just having people be nice to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the family. This whole group is a family. So I've really this past year, and I'm not always there because I'm a little groggy sometimes when I come in here and that, you know, but I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort to say hi to people and say, you know, keep people amped up and you know, I've had people come up and be like, dude, this is great, you know, how much weight have you lost? And is that you on the wall over there? That's awesome, you know, I mean, so stuff like that is really, it's fun to see, and it's fun to know that I'm, you know, helping represent the PFit lifestyle, I guess, or whatever. But like, you know, things like that, you know, I love seeing, like, you know, like I said, I do my push-ups in the morning. Every once in a while I see someone else doing push-ups too, you know? So you know, it's fun to see that.
Exactly, brother. It's awesome, man. And honestly, it's not even, I wouldn't even attribute it to the PFit lifestyle, right? Because we have you guys come in here and we set the standard for you guys to just be excellent. And when you just hone in and you find that excellence within yourself, because everybody's great, right? We know this. We know that everybody's had this greatness, and you knew that you had this inside you all along. All it just took was those right pieces, right? Those right tools to get you to where you wanted to go. So I would say really closing message, because honestly, I had something really interesting. I had a question for someone, and I asked them, do you think you could be a success story? They said, I don't know. So for a person thinking that they can't be a success story, kind of just close out and tell them why they could be.
Oh man, I think like I said, if I was capable of doing this, and like I said, I was in a bad place before I started this whole journey. And the fact that I've gotten to a point where like I'm the healthiest. I'm 49, and I'm literally probably the healthiest I've ever been in my life.
Powerful, brother.
You know, I've been able to see my cholesterol go from being high to normal for my age. My blood pressure is normal. My pulse rate is normal and getting better every day. And so, you know, if I can make that happen, like, I don't want to sound cliche, but like anybody can do that. I mean, like really, it's you have to get out of the mindset of, well, this is just the way I am. And if you are that way, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm not going to judge anybody. But I know that health-wise and longevity, I want to live to see my grandkids. 100%. I want to live to see my grandkids' kids. You know, I want to be there for them. 100%. I don't want to be physically unable to do things. And and I see people. I've seen people in my life get to that point where they can't physically take part in other activities that other people are doing because of their health. And I never want to be like that. I want to be able to be right up there with my kids and their kids, and you know, just keep living my best life.
The legacy. Awesome. Right, we are so proud of you, brother. Keep on doing you, man. Keep on inspiring everybody that you inspire, brother.
And again, you guys really are my biggest cheerleaders. My biggest motivation. You know, I really want to make you guys happy. Man. And so that's kind of what helps me keep pushing out there. And the fact that I've got you guys yelling at me, come on, one more, do it again, let's see, you know, that's the kind of stuff that just, you know, keeps you pushing.
Yeah, dude. You make us more than happy, brother. You make us proud, brother. You make us proud. You take a lot of pride in your work.